If countries can print money, why do they still beg, borrow, and go into debt? Why do countries borrow money when they can print it? At first glance, it feels obvious. If a country controls its currency, it should never run out of money. Just print what you need, pay bills, fund projects, and move on. But money is not just paper, it is trust, timing, and expectations. Printing ignores those three. Borrowing works with them. That is why even powerful nations borrow instead of printing endlessly. 10 reasons countries borrow instead of printing money. 1. Printing money does not create real value. Printing increases the number of currency units, not the amount of goods and services. If factories, food, housing, and energy supply stay the same, prices rise to absorb extra money. Borrowing, however, allows governments to fund growth projects that increase future production, helping repay debt without destroying purchasing power. 2. Inflation is not linear, it accelerates. Many people think inflation rises slowly. That's wrong. Once people expect prices to rise, they spend faster, demand higher wages, and raise prices in advance. Printing triggers expectations immediately. Borrowing avoids igniting this psychological chain reaction. 3. Currency value is set by global markets, not governments. A government can print money, but it cannot force others to accept it at the same value. Forex markets react instantly to excess money supply by devaluing the currency. Borrowing reassures markets that the government respects currency stability. 4. Imports become expensive overnight. Most countries rely on imports for oil, semiconductors, medicine, and machinery. A weaker currency means higher import bills, fuel inflation, and trade deficits. Borrowing protects exchange rates, keeping essential imports affordable. 5. Debt has rules, printing has none. Debt has interest rates, repayment schedules, and legal frameworks. These force discipline and long-term planning. Printing money has no structural limit. Political pressure always pushes governments to print more. 6. Bond markets act as a warning system. When governments borrow, rising interest rates signal danger early. This allows policy correction before crisis hits. Printing removes this feedback loop. Collapse comes suddenly instead. 7. Inflation is a hidden tax on citizens. Printing money silently reduces purchasing power without parliamentary approval. This erodes trust and triggers social unrest. Borrowing is transparent. Taxes or repayments are visible and politically accountable. 8. Printing causes capital flight. Businesses and wealthy citizens move money abroad when inflation risk rises. This reduces domestic investment, weakens banks, and worsens unemployment. Borrowing maintains confidence, keeping capital inside the country. 9. Debt can be managed. Printing cannot be reversed. Governments can refinance, extend maturities, or grow out of debt. Inflation, once embedded, requires painful interest rate hikes and recessions to control. Borrowing keeps options open. 10. Printing is used only in extreme emergencies. Countries print heavily only during wars, pandemics, or depressions when survival matters more than stability. In normal times, printing is economic self-harm. Borrowing is risky. Printing is irreversible damage. Final truth. Printing money solves cash problems. Borrowing solves economic problems. That's why governments choose debt even when the printer is right there.